everybody. What a wonderful time it is. And recently I've been dealing with people suffering from intense depression and anxiety and who are flipping out from their life and who are like controlled by their past actually and cannot move further in life. And we do it, and it's been giving a lot of deep sense of relaxation, a deep sense of joy. And I'm very content in the present moment, and I can really feel the energy in that they are vibrating in their self. And it didn't happen overnight. My experience with the feminine energy has been a long journey. That's what I'm here to advocate about. The feminine energy, one of the most powerful and profound energy. And as you listen to my past story, you'll come to connect these things together. As I was born and raised in a middle-class family in different part of the cities, my parents had to transfer from one place to another place in search of, like, my dad used to work in army. So, like, I was sent away from my home very far to live in remote areas, sometime in city areas. So I missed my mom very much. I had this deep void, a kind of gap here. And I had this sense of blame towards my mother that she didn't keep her with me. Although I was receiving love from my guardians and other people who were responsible for me, but what I lacked was my mother's love. And when I had this cultural change, I lived a very painful life, actually. It was like more of the bullying and more of the abuse and more of the beating and punishment. And I was not really happy with the society, with the people, with my seniors. So I had a very, very deep pain with this education system, with everybody. So I started annihilating myself. I had to literally ride for 45 minutes in bicycle to reach school. So I was alone, and what I learned in my life was it was a lone journey. It had something more powerful. It was like feminine journey, as you hear the last speaker, and like he talked about how a female is and how the feminine energy is staying still. So my journey has been like similar to feminine journey, cultivating that pain, tolerating that intense pain. So the pain grew so high, like a donkey being put with all those packs one above another. So I could not resist it anymore. I was in search of someone who could love. I was trying to find a beautiful girl who could really fill me up and make me feel that I'm complete. And it never happened. Like, all the time I found somebody, but something happened. I was drawn back and I was sent away from her. And it didn't work pretty well, and my life was fully in pain up to I was in 10th class. Then I somehow came to Kathmandu, and I even didn't get a chance to stay with my mother again. I had to stay with my grandmother. She was very strict. She was not allowing me to, 10 minutes late, where did you go? You cannot do this. I have taken you away from your parents. I'm very responsible about you. And all this restriction even led to more pain, more pain. So by the end of high school, I had a few crushes. I told them it didn't work out. and just abundance of pain, it was like avalanche coming, and my physiology was turned down, my mindset was purely engulfed with these painful experiences of not being loved. Then at the end of the high school, I fell for my close friend, and this time also it didn't work out. But the good news is it changed my direction. Like, when I fell in love with her, I fell in love with her actually because she was that person who was already living the life that I always wanted to live. It was just the opposite attraction that happened at that moment. So I had a dream, I had a vision, I had a plan for my life. She was so involved in my sense of self. My identity was somehow shaped by her, my beliefs, my values, my ethics, everything, her presence was there. So I was so motivated when I went to university. Like, I was doing so well. I was being noticeable. I was making this clear distinction that I'm on the study. I have to get there in a level where I can really match her. And it didn't happen. Like, there was a landslide actually. When this landslide come, it really withdrew back. Everything that I constructed was collapsing now. My identity was collapsing. Who I am was collapsing. My dream was collapsing. I unfortunately happened to leave university, and my relationship with my mother was so worse by now that I blamed her for everything. My entire pain, everything coming to my mother, I just felt so bad. But somehow, when I was a child, I used to love these kung fu movies, where you fight and you defend yourself, like everybody, pointing on you, fighting against you, and all this kind of negative experience. It reached to the extreme height that I had to practice martial arts to release this tension, this stress, this pain. So this girl who got married and who left to US had really a big impact on my life. Actually, everything, my dream was collapsed. Everything was just reversed. Then something started happening. My father could not afford me to give more money because my 4 years in university was already complete and I was not graduated. And I was lying to them, I am already graduated. You can believe me, Mom, I'm graduate. What are you talking about? You don't believe your son? So I was blackmailing them. And I got a job as a school teacher. I was the awesome teacher there. I don't want my student to be in pain, the similar sort of pain that I was in my life. So I taught pretty well, and in this 2 years' time, I bought more than 100 books, all self-help, all related to psychology, all related to human behavior, and that changed me so much. I started activating this law of attraction, like giving a massive impact. Like I used to affirm for 1 hour that I'm gonna reach in that state of life where my all dreams will be completed. Everything that I desired for will be completed. So within a matter of 6 months, I got the job that I wanted. I got a job as a psychosocial counselor without even academic degree. Like they couldn't even cross-question me because I had that conviction that I can do it. Then the person who were there, who didn't have any idea about psychology, so I literally manipulated them to get this job. And I become an entrepreneur. I would not claim that right now because I have shifted from this unconscious and conscious to a little bit far. So I work for this place called Bodha In Meditation Center, which I partly own now. And this all happened not because I had money, I had resource. I didn't have those things actually. When I left my job, I didn't have a rupee in my bank balance. I didn't have Provident Fund because I didn't want that. All I had was this extreme conviction, this madness that I'm gonna do something, no matter what. And this didn't come out of one day. It came out of years of training of your mind. So life began to reverse as I work as a counselor. I started showing result. I started helping people with earthquake victim, transforming mind, EFT, TFT, different therapeutic models. And I sat down for months, going back in my past, people hurting me. Everything I started erasing, everything I started deleting from my mind. I cannot remember many things. As you see me talking, I'm not very congruent with what I'm saying because I cannot actually remember what happened in my past. Everything has been deleted, everything has been distorted, everything has been changed to something else. So I have to really work hard on remembering my things in past because I don't think that's important anymore in my life. So I started working with people, so many results, like people who have gone in depression for 10 years, healed, and I was extremely feeling that thing. And again, something happened. I met a beautiful girl who became my Tai Chi teacher. She taught me how to work with spiritual energy to heal people. Then I already started another venture called Nepal Media Corporation, which could not last because I was so withdrawn into my consciousness by now that I didn't have an expectation. I didn't have any desire in life. I didn't want to have anything. I didn't want to add anything because everything was being taken away. The subtraction was happening so that there would be zero left, and that zero is actually me. And this is something where I can experience like an inner fulfillment, inner sense of satisfaction, the life. And that zero is somehow related to feminine. It's about creation. It's not the masculine force that creates. It's the feminine, the darkness where every creation happens. The seed germinates in the darkness inside the land. A baby is born, or the baby happens to get born inside the mother's womb in that deep darkness first. It reminds me of Carl Jung. He says that it's not the light that will awaken you, it's the darkness that will awaken. It's your pain that will awaken you. It's not that pleasure that will raise you to higher standard in life. So, that mother universe, she is dark, she is still. Even the sun, the light of sun is covered by her darkness. So I would like to remember all the mothers, and I have a very good relationship with my mother now. No more regrets, no more pain, no more blame. So thank you so much for everything. Enjoy your time.